what's going on, y'all? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And you're about to watch a little OTB LSU.
We're going to give you all the latest, greatest between LSU football, baseball, women's basketball, softball, and everything in between.
Bottom line, if you want to talk Tigers, keep it locked, subscribe, like it. So one guy that everybody's going to be watching, if you're going to be at USC, he's going to be key. He's one of the best players in the entire country, is Harold Perkins. Blake Baker surprised even me in how effusive he was talking about Harold Perkins.
He's done an unbelievable job. Harold Perkins right now is playing on fire. Again, have a lot on his plate mentally. We have packages, we're moving him all around, so he's not just playing on the inside. But he's fitting the run as well as anybody that we have at linebacker right now. I think our linebackers are doing a good job overall fitting the run, but very, very pleased with Harold and really his development. Again, you talk about from where we started this thing at the beginning of spring to where he is now, it's night and day. And he's an ascending player. I really think he's not even scratching the surface still of where he's going to be. So I look forward to, every single week him improving, but very, very happy with what he's doing right now.
Okay, so because I want to explore that a bit more, but unless you think that that's just lip service, okay, I want his answer on Jacobian Guillory here. This is Baker 6.
Yeah, I think Jacoby and I have a really, really good relationship. Again, he's a guy, and usually this is the case with older guys. You can kind of be a little more loose with them because they know when to turn it on and when to turn it off. So I would say we probably have a pretty playful relationship, but when it's time to go to work, he knows when it's time to go to work. The thing that really, going back to what I just said about him, the thing that separates him is one, his strength. He's got a low center of gravity, really, really good lower and upper body strength, but then also block recognition. So that just comes from experience. But those are probably the two things that separates him for the rest of our guys right now.
So again, I mean, a fine answer, right? But now with that, all right, actually, let's do Ashton Stamps next. This is Baker 7.
Ashton's worked his tail off to get where he's at. He's a guy that, if I was up here in the summer doing whatever, every time I go to the indoor, he was on the jug machine, or he was working on the bands, or he was working his footwork. So credit to what he's been able to do. He's still a young player, and I challenge him every day. I'm looking for more consistency out of Ashton. He has stepped his game up, but he's not where we need him to be overall, and that's not a knock. But we got 2 more weeks to get him to be what he is capable of being, from a mental consistency standpoint.
So again, 3 positive answers,
yeah,
right, one and all. But you can see the different levels of positivity, and so now that you understand that it's not just lip service, give me Harold Perkins one more time, and we'll pick it apart.
He's done an unbelievable job. Harold Perkins right now is playing on fire.
You can hear it in his voice.
Again, have a lot on his plate mentally. We have packages, we're moving him all around, so he's not just playing on the inside. But he's fitting the run as well as anybody that we have at linebacker right now. I think our linebackers are doing a good job overall fitting the run, but very, very pleased with Harold and really his development. Again, you talk about from where we started this thing at the beginning of spring to where he is now, it's night and day. And he's an ascending player. I really think he's not even scratching the surface still of where he's going to be. So I look forward to, every single week him improving, but very, very happy with what he's doing right now.
You can just feel the extra energy in his voice when he's talking about Perkins. Like, start up the Perkins hype train. I have no problem giving myself over to him. It sounds like he's adapting well linebacker, but more so than that, it sounds like he's adapting well to being that mismatch player that Blake Baker's going to move around and try to manipulate matchups for it so that they can take advantage of those 1v1s.
Taylor, let me know when you have the Perkins play ready to go. I sent another one as well. That's what I'm saying, because I want to show, and we can even come back to it, but I want to show our listeners what Perk can do from multiple places, because a lot of people just say, put him on the edge, put him on the edge. I'm not necessarily worried about where he lines up. I just want him to be disruptive.
Yeah.
And he can be disruptive from a stack linebacker position. He doesn't have to play on his heels. He doesn't have to line up at nickel and play in coverage. Like, he can do all these different things, but just trust me when I say, like, as a running back, sure, when you come off the edge like a bat out of hell, it is tough. And we've seen him make those plays, but you can scheme for that. If you know every time he's on there that's what he's doing, okay, well, it basically becomes punt coverage, and I'm just going to make sure you don't beat me inside. I'm going to keep my outside hand free, and I'm just going to wash you all the way up. Even if you are a speed rusher, I can get one hand on one shoulder and rush you up the field. Now, he can win some reps as well, but I was terrified when a Mike linebacker was somebody that could shoot gaps.
Yeah.
As you see here, we're playing it if you're watching this on YouTube. Like, this is a position where you can shoot a gap in the run game. You can pressure through the A gap, right? When you're rushing, like it can be from depth. It doesn't have to be, hey, I'm going to line up in the A gap, allow the center to adjust it, because Harold Perkins is such a dynamic rusher that if he walks up into the A gap, every time the center is going to say, that's my guy, I'm going to send the other guy to the running back, but I'm taking Harold Perkins, okay? Now, Perk's still going to win those matchups because he's more athletic. But if Harold Perkins, as you see in that clip, if he starts coming from depth like that, it puts the running back in a bind because he's got a three-way go. He can go to my left, my right, or through me. And there's not a running back in this country that one-on-one wants to block Harold Perkins. No. So when I say don't just get enamored with him lining up on the edge, he can be disruptive. He has to be disruptive. Like when he lined up at Stack Backer last year, they didn't do any of that.
No.
He was on his heels because they wanted him in coverage.
Just trying to read.
You can still do the things that he needs to get done and affect the game like he did his freshman year from that position, but you have to call it. You have to trust him to get that done because, again, if you end up Harold Perkins on a running back or a tight end coming from depth like that with a 5-yard head start on you, you're in trouble. And that's the kind of play that he'll make all season long. And it sounds like we're going to see him line up at that position. He's going to line up on the edge. He will at times probably plug in a little A-gap mug with somebody else. But as long as he's disruptive, it can come from so many different places.
I mean, and again, even last year, he was really good in what they asked him to do. He just got funneled to a position that it's tough to be the most disruptive at. And again, he still put up better stats than 95% of players in the country, but any TFL or anything he came up with was almost like immediately erased a play later. So, yeah, give yourself over fully to Harold Perkins this year. He is going to be dominant. I fully believe that. And remember, he can handle this mentally. The moving around, the different responsibilities. He's got like a 3.6 GPA or something, Brian Kelly told us. Like, he can handle the mental workload as well, and he's got the physical tools, and he's bigger, stronger, and faster than he's ever been. Harold Perkins is going to dominate this year.
Hey, Taylor, play that clip one more time, and his speed is what makes a play here as well. Like, there's just not a lot of people built like him that play that position because you're wondering, well, how do you have such a free run? Because the center is supposed to be working, right? He's supposed to be working with the guard. So he's going to that 2-eye. He's giving him hand presence, help the guard with his block because there's no way that linebacker is going, who I'm responsible for, is going to be able to make that play. But the problem is Harold Perkins is so fast that DJ Chester can't get back. And so on his play card, it's help the guard to the linebacker, right? And if he's coming from depth like that, there's no way that DJ Chester at center, and T, you can speak on this better than I can predetermine that Perk's going to do this, right?
No, he should have. I mean, if you're DJ Chester there, you just can't get that left hand involved. If you're just you kind of help stay unengaged with that inside hand, and you help the guard, you push him over, and then you just got to be ready to come back there because as soon as he commits his left hand to the combo block, Perks. It's like when a DB turns their hips the wrong way, and the quarterback knows he's cooked because now they can throw it behind him. Yeah. But yeah, exactly. But to Jake's point. that doesn't work with most linebackers wouldn't be fast enough to take advantage and pull it off, but Harold Perkins is. Wow, Jake, what incredible takes.
I mean, those guys, they're just the best.
I think so. And if you think so, again, hit the like button, subscribe, ring the bell so you get notifications when we post every single day here on OTB LSU.